Hi, I'm Aaron Frischberg with 1A. Thanks for tuning in to Just 1A. I'm talking to Zhenyu, the CTO and co-founder of AmmPower. How's it going, Zhenyu?
Oh, yeah, it's going well. It's nice to be here.
Awesome. So, just to kind of start things off, if you could have one storage unit of an infinite number of one item, what item would you pick?
Storage unit. All right, soccer games.
Okay, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
And then do you want to give a quick 45-second spiel about what you're doing at AmmPower?
Yeah, sure. So at AmmPower, we're working on the green ammonia synthesis and cracking technologies. We're building the world's first decentralized electrified ammonia production units to allow the user to use renewable electricity to produce ammonia on site to reduce the carbon intensity as well as saving the transportation, the logistic costs. And we're also building large-scale port projects to produce ammonia at thousands metric ton per day for exporting market and to be used as a maritime fuel. And the third project working on is ammonia cracking technologies to crack ammonia for generating high purity hydrogens, which can be used for like hydrogen filling stations and as well as off-grid power generation purposes.
Okay. And I'm curious, what really interested you in this, and why did you pick this to pursue as a career?
I think I'm always passionate in the sustainability sectors and how to uh, use my expertise in developing technologies that can solve the critical challenges there. And I see the challenge within the hydrogen industry that is its capacity for transportation and storage being an issue, and the money can really solve that. So that's why I devoted myself into this sector because it can really help contribute to solve the many specific problems to help facilitate to make our planet more sustainable.
Sure. And there has been a lot of talk about what the future is going to look like in terms of climate change. Do you have kind of an optimistic or pessimistic view about that?
Um, I would say I'm an optimistic guy because I see a lot of work we have been putting into in driving the changes and driving the way we live, we produce things, and to combat the climate change. I see this from multiple different sectors, from the public policy wise, and then how in the U.S. or different continent in different countries, how policymakers are working together to make goals, quantifiable goals to, um, and really plans to we can um, execute. So to target the problem of climate change and how that calls into the private sectors, people into building the technologies and new technologies, how to solve the issues, and as well as all the academic people, how to advance our fundamental problems. So I see a lot of great things going on, and every day, and I see great news and in different sectors, and I'm very um, optimistic about the future we're going to have.
Yeah. And it seems the way that AmPower is going, that you guys are going to really contribute to fixing the world and making an optimistic perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm also curious, kind of shifting over to education.
Mm-hmm.
So you did your undergrad in China and then your graduate and PhD in the United States. And I'm curious how you felt that was different.
Yeah, right. I think in the U.S., I love the fact that it's very collaborative, and there are a lot of different great schools, great national labs, and there are great people that you can go to seminar and to see people talking about very cool technologies, and that's very inspiring, even if it's not the exact thing you're working on, but gives you a lot of thoughts and give you a lot of opportunities to learn about new things and collaborate with new peoples, and I think that's definitely a very important catalyst in driving the entrepreneurial things and then developing new technologies. And yeah, that's one thing as I love about the U.S. here.
Sure. And then can I ask, what did you major in for your undergrad?
I'm majoring in chemical engineering.
Okay. So One thing that I've been curious about recently is there are people that major in like history and then became data scientists or just
Mhm.
fields that are really unrelated. So
Mhm.
you did end up going into like a very similar field to what you did in your undergrad,
Mhm.
but do you really feel, well, maybe chemical engineering has a high barrier to entry, but do you feel that for many other fields you don't actually need to major in a given field? Like data analytics, you could major in English and then just learn the skills on the job. Do you feel that that's true or there's no real validity to that?
From my actually, one thing you don't know is that my master's degree is in computer science, so it's pretty different from my chemical engineering background in undergraduate. So the way I feel like, although the majors are defined more, uh, there's a clear boundary, but that boundary is getting diminished or blurry over the time. And as a my suggestion is to focus more on the problem you're trying to solve, instead of limiting yourself, like say a certain set of skills within a major. Just to give you one example, is that we're working on this decentralized ammonia production units. Chemical engineering definitely playing a huge important role into that. How to define the process, how to design the equipment. But on the other hand, we're also working on the control system to make the basically the operation of the unit more safe, autonomous, and requires a lot of knowledge into the data analytics in understanding the process condition and how to make the control more agile. And those are all techniques you learn, say, from data analytics major as well as computer science. So um, again, trying to focus on the problem here, I think will help answer a lot of the questions raised.
Sure. And you mentioned that you felt that the barrier was kind of becoming blurrier to a lot of these fields. Why do you think that is?
I think part of it is uh, that this probably more true towards the application of data analytics and computer science skills that allows us to do things a lot differently than without those computational power or like a algorithm itself, like what I just mentioned, like in for the application in chemical engineering regime, and all those different sensors generates a huge amount of data, and how to analyze that properly previously has been a problem. And back to I guess example you give, like historians, and I think similar problem uh, resides as well in how processing the data differently, not just by people, but by actually machines using a given set of instructions, which is algorithm, and the help doing that can really give you a different perspective or a conclusion from the same set of data.
Sure.
Mhm.
And I'm also really curious, as someone that like worked in both computer science and a more natural science field, how do you feel that ChatGPT and the recent release of just a bunch of these AI tools
Mhm.
will kind of change like your specific fields, but also just many fields, including like English and stuff that's more generative and not scientific?
Right, yeah. I've always been following on the updates going on with the AI field. I think this definitely something um, that's have shown a huge potential. I think everyone is crazy about the Chat GPT, and I'm also one of them. So, and it's very impressive to see what the current generative AI can do. And I think that's generally a good thing because they can allow the us and people to focus on more critical thinking, and some of the mundane tasks can be done by the AI, which if we use it properly, will be a good thing for the human being.
Sure. Yeah. Uh, I think there's a lot of fear of replacement, but I think that you're right that a lot of these mundane tasks will be
Hmm.
replaced.
Hmm.
And it's interesting to see how society will kind of shape around this, but I think, at least for now, I think humans are here to stay, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then to kind of just wrap stuff up, if someone was in your position or a similar position or starting a company or really anything that relates to what you've gone through, what advice would you give them?
Um, I, uh, I I would say make the clear plan upfront, and because you will have some fear, will have some doubt, will have some uncertainty. But think about the problem you are trying to solve, and clearly understanding that, and focus on the process of solving it instead of all the worries or uncertainties, and that will help you go a long way.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and I really appreciate your time and your insight. It was really great talking to you.
Yeah, of course, it's great talking to you too. Right.
Great. All right. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, thank you.